Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of Make Every Second Count Live with me, Jeff Marconette Jr., your host and international Make Every Second Count speaker. Now, on this show, we're here to help you, and we ask you if you would please ask us all kinds of questions. Sorry, I forgot my light, but no problem. And so we would like you to ask us all kinds of questions. Keep them coming, and we will answer all of them if we have time. But we will answer all of them, I promise you, unless they're like out of this world, and then we won't answer them. But I ask you if you would please share this video out, introduce people to this show, let them gain knowledge, gain wisdom from this show so they can live their best life. But tonight we're going to be talking about it's never too late. So no matter how old you are, no matter what circumstances you have lived through or are living through, none of that matters because it's never too late to live the life you are destined to live. So I would like to talk to my guest, introduce my guest. I'm sorry. Her name is ArLene Collins Wilson. Hi, ArLene. How are you doing tonight?
Absolutely marvelous. And it is a plump, pleasing pleasure to be on your show this evening.
A plump, pleasing pleasure.
That's a tongue twister.
Wow, that's a new one right there. All right, so ArLene, I have to ask you if you would go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Tell them who you are, where you're from, what you do, and more importantly, why you do what you do. And I'm going to be inviting people to this show on my phone.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. As I say on my Facebook Live on Tuesday evening, it's your girl, ArLene. I am ArLene Collins Wilson. And it's a very humbling experience to be on Jeff's show because he is an international speaker. So, a little bit about myself. I'm originally a Southern girl. I'm from the natural state, from Arkansas.
Yeah.
From Arkansas. Spent 15 years in Michigan and now reside in Joliet, Illinois, one of the suburb cities of Chicago, where I reside with my husband now here. And it's very beautiful here. I love it here. What do I do? What do I not do? Well, I am a spiritual mentor. I will soon be a four-time author.
Woo!
Yes. Very excited about that. And like I said earlier, I have a spiritual mentorship program that started in August of 2020. It is C4P. C4P is created for purpose. And what I do is impart into women and pull the purpose out of them to let them know that they each represent a personality and facet of God that He wants to manifest in the earth. So my position is to push them to that purpose, to believe in themselves and to know that they have a gift that is needed and necessary in the earth. I also let them know that they are an original and there's no one in the earth like them. So they're free to be themselves because everyone else is taken.
Mm-hmm.
I also
I love that quote. I'm sorry.
yes. I also do a Facebook Live on Tuesday evenings on Facebook that I've been doing since November 2018. And it's just hanging out with your girl, ArLene, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays. And I just recently in January this year got into the Clubhouse app where I have a room on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time called It's Never Too Late. And it has been an awesome experience being in the new Clubhouse app, being into the rooms. I also co-moderate a room called Marriage Ministry. Marriage is not for the faint. Let's pray. and also another room called GPPC, which is Global Prophetic Prayer Clinic. So just all types of things. I have a 1-year event coming up this month on the 28th to celebrate 1 year of Created for Purpose being in existence, with women coming from all across the United States for us to meet and greet each other in person and up close, which we haven't been able to do with the pandemic. So I'm very excited about that. And then my husband and I are launching a new business through MWR, Making Wealth Real. And we also do a Insulating Your Relationship on Facebook on Thursday nights. Insulating your relationship, doing it God's way. So that's just a few of the things I do, Jeff.
Wow, that is pretty awesome. But you forgot the biggest question that I had.
Oh, what is your question, Jeff?
Now, first of all, I need to say hi to Roland Manny,
Hi, Roland.
to Robert Shallow, who says good evening, and then he says that he lived in Joliet for 5 years. He's originally from Chicago, so he lives in outside of Indianapolis, Indiana now.
Oh,
But
wow. Not that far from us. It's not. Hi, Roland. Thanks for coming in.
yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We ask you if you please share this video out, invite people to watch this, because I guarantee this is going to be powerful. So the most important question out of those first ones that I gave you was, why do you do what you do?
Oh, you did ask me that, Jeff. I do apologize. I do. I do what I do because there was a season in my life when I struggled through things to get to the life that I now live. And I didn't have a safe place to land. We all need a safe place to land, to vent, so to speak, where we're not judged. It's a no judgment zone. It's a place where you can feel free and be able to get out of your heart. And sometimes you answer your own question. So I struggled through that basically alone. So I do what I do so that women can have that landing space, that safe place where they feel that they're heard, they're listened to, and they're understood, versus what I did not have. Now I pour that into other women for them to have that, so that it will help them to work through what they're going through to get to the victory and to live the life God designed for them.
All right, so guys out there, I've got to ask you, where's all the women at? We got to get some women in the house, because that's what ArLene does, and that's who she inspires. But she's also going to inspire you guys.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
all right. So, ArLene, we're here tonight, and we talk on this show a little bit about people, or what we have gone through in our lives.
Yes.
Now, you were talking a little bit about having some hard times and not having a safe place to land.
Yes.
Now, how exactly, well, first of all, what problems did you go through, if you're willing to talk about them?
I went through, I was still dealing in my life with rejection, abandonment, abuse, physically, mentally, verbally, as well as spiritually, and thinking that I was okay the way that I was. But there comes a problem with going through that alone, because you find yourself trying to conform in places to be accepted, and you're not supposed to conform in those places, because then you lose your identity. So struggling from those childhood traumas of rejection, isolation, and abuse, because my parents split up when I was 4. So at 6 years old, we were moved to Arkansas to live with our paternal grandmother who raised us. My grandmother was good. She was loving. She was kind. But I found out later that emotionally she was insufficient as well. She knew how to nurture us. She knew how to take care of us, but she didn't know how to emotionally pour into us that would get us to our healed place. So I personally struggled through that when I had questions, I couldn't get the answers I needed. I was just given the answers that they knew. Not to say anything was wrong with that, but that's all they knew. But it wasn't enough to get me to where I needed to be. So I struggled looking for love in all the wrong places. Therein, getting into premarital sex. I know we're all adults on here. Getting into that and being in and out of relationship, having 3 children who are now all adults, out of wedlock, until I finally got to the point where I said, enough is enough. It's time for ArLene to find out who she is. And I was willing to go through whatever it took, whatever was necessary for me to get to my total healed place, so that when I get into the next relationship, which is what I'm in now, I would make a decision based on my healed place versus making a decision on my hurt and empty place.
So, what led you to the point of trying to figure out how you could deal with this situation, how you could get past the premarital sex, the kids that are out of wedlock? How exactly did you get to the point where you finally said enough is enough?
It was in 2004, after my last breakup of a marriage, and I found myself in Michigan with my dad. I had left a job of all 20 years, I think it was, in 2003. And in 2004, I moved to Michigan with my dad from Arkansas. And have you ever been in a room full of people, Jeff? And
Feel alone?
everybody is celebrating and having a good time, but you feel alone and isolated. Although you're in a room full of people, there's something missing. That's where I was. And when I went to my dad's, I had suicidal thoughts. I wanted to throw the towel in on life. But then I heard this voice, which I would believe was the voice of the Lord, say, I still have need of you. And I began to question it, like, me, all of these mistakes I made, all these marriages I've been in, all of this. He was like, I have need of you. And I got to a point, I was like, okay, God, you're not going to let me die. So let's do this for real. Let's do this. And that was in 2004. That was in 2004. But in that moment, I made a decision to get to who I really am, to get through all of the layers. Now, mind you, Jeff, it's painful going through that. But if you're willing to go through it, you'll get to your healed, whole, and complete self. Because I realized that there is an anointing in the through. Because there's a scripture, I believe it's in Psalms 23, that says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So while you in it, if your focus is not on the light, because there can never be a shadow cast without light. But if you allow yourself to stay focused on the light while you're going through the shadow is just a facade. The shadow is just a smoke screen. The shadow is making it look like and appear that it's going to take you out and it's going to be death. But it says the shadow of it, that means it's not real. That means the light is trying to be dimmed by the shadow of your circumstance. So when you make up your mind to go through or be pulled through, you'll get to your place of victory. But it's in that through where the healing takes place, the restoration takes place. You can lift your head up. You no longer have to allow the sting of your past to taint your future.
That is awesome. That is phenomenal, and I appreciate you so being willing to go through what you went through and trying to help other people learn to deal with the things in their life. Now, I tell people all the time that they have never been through something they didn't live through.
That's true.
Now, I know, I understand people have hard times in life.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, life gets extremely hard at times. And you can't escape the hard times. I understand that. But you have really lived through nothing that you didn't live through.
Amen. Amen.
So I don't understand why it is that people want to just throw in the towel. Now, what led you to the point that you said that enough is enough? I'm done with this life. I can move on now because I know there has to be something better on the other side.
Yes. Yes.
What led you to that point?
To the point of throwing in the towel, or
Yes.
uh because that last marriage that I was in, it was very devastating. It was heartbreaking. I didn't know that it would end the way that it ended. And having made all the choices that I made, I just figured life was over for me. There couldn't be anything better for me based on everything that had happened in my past. But I had been sent to Michigan for a purpose. And that purpose was to get me to where I am now. Had I not gone through that experience, I don't believe I would be sitting here talking to you now. But it was at that point where I was like, there can't be anything good that can come out of everything that has happened to me. Who would miss me? Because
I would.
because ultimately at that point and in that time in life, I didn't figure anyone would miss me.
Yeah. Well, I would. I'd miss you. I'd miss each and every person that's out there because even if I don't know them, they're a part of my world.
Amen.
They make up a part of my world, if not a part of somebody else's world.
Yeah.
And Robert Shallow says it's easy to give up, but the bottle is a the battle is a struggle to move forward.
Yeah.
Now, when he says that, I understand that it can be a battle,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't like fighting. A lot of people want to get somewhere easy, especially in today's world.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say that nothing good ever comes easy.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So is is there some tip that you would offer other people that are going through suicidal tendencies, a way for them to escape those issues and deal with that pain?
Surround yourself with people that believe in you. Because when you're at that point in your life, although you want people to jump on the bandwagon with your pity party, that's not what you need. So you don't need those type of people around you, and it will cause you to sink further and deeper into what you're going through. And at that time you're in your emotions. You're in your emotions. And if you allow your emotions to control you, you'll be all over the place because you can't rely on your emotions when you're in that point, when you're in that state. It's painful, it hurts, yes, but you're emotional and you can't make a decision in your emotions. I found out that you can't make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. Although you are in the situation, it looks permanent, it looks final, it looks like the end, but it's not. So you have to intentionally choose people to be around you that's not going to allow you to stay there.
That is phenomenal advice, and I appreciate those words because it has to be hard to share some of this stuff, and it really shows the strength and wisdom inside you.
Mm-hmm.
So what has led to this point? What has allowed you to live the life that you were destined to live?
Wow. Uh, you live in the place. No, you see what you desire for your life, and you begin to change everything in your life to point to the life you believe in for yourself. You have to believe it for yourself first. You hear it so many times. You have to see it before you see it. So you look at yourself differently than where you currently are. And by surrounding yourself with people, what do you read? What are you feeding yourself? What are you speaking to yourself? What are you speaking over yourself? Because I know there was one exercise the Lord took me through, and looking in the mirror, getting his word, what he says about me, and say it to that person in the mirror. Now that was a very, very difficult exercise to do, but a necessary exercise to do. Because when you speak words to yourself, they're gonna come and manifest in your life, whether good, bad, or indifferent. So you've gone through the bad, you've gone through the indifferent, you've gone through the pain, you've gone through the struggle. Why not go through the other? Everything else has not worked. Because if you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's insanity, and people get checks for that. I didn't want to do that. It didn't matter that I was in another city, another state. ArLene was still present. So it was ArLene in the equation that needed to be changed, that needed to be healed, that needed to be whole, that needed to believe in herself and believe the God that created her. Because I found out later, we all have a history, Jeff. We all have a past. We all do. But the thing about it is, our past does not change God's mind of his original intention that he created from the end back to the beginning. It doesn't change his mind. What has to change is us and our perspective on how we see it. So I found out that now my life I live now is not based on my history, but it's based on his story, based on what he says about me through his word. And that's the lane I choose to get in and stay in.
That is awesome. That is amazing. I don't even know what to say to that, because wow is all I can say. But you talked about something that is special to my heart, and that is perspective.
Yes.
And that's the perfect segue for my little shameless plug right here.
Okay, go on and get
So
it's your show.
This is my journal, and it's called Make Every Second Count, a 1,500-hour journal. And as you can see, well, maybe you can't.
I can see it.
No, but
I gotta get those in my life, Jeff.
it was written by me
Uh-huh.
with Adria Luster, and then it's forwarded by Dr. Ruben West.
Oh, wow. That's
Now,
awesome.
It is on developing and using more gratitude in your life.
Amen.
Helping you see life with more perspective, so you can stop looking at all the things that you want all the time and look at the things that you have.
Yeah.
And the book was originally designed for students 11 through 19 years of age. But I have since discovered that it will work for each and every person, because I have this little saying that people in life, for whatever reason, don't always build a life on a solid foundation. They build on rocks, they build on sand, they build on ground that washes away. And my thing is, if you build a stronger foundation, your house will stand. Yeah. So your life will stand, will be stronger. Yeah. And it's never too late to strengthen that foundation. And just like tonight's show, it's never too late to live the life you were destined to live. That is perfect for my book too, because I think that each and every person is destined to live a happy, a joyful, a grateful life. And this book will help you do that. So if you go to my website at www.jeffmarconette, which is JEFFMarconette Jr. jr.com/journal, and you can actually download the first 7 days of that journal for completely free. And that is over gratitude. And each week in the journal is over a different subject. It's pretty freaking awesome. I have to say, I love it. I just thank you so much for allowing me my shameless plug.
Oh, that's fine. It's your show.
So I know you talked a little bit about divorces and going through divorces and how it led you to where you are today. And where are you today? I mean, how are you living differently today than you used to live? And is it because that other person gave you that strength to live that life, or is it more because your foundation?
What I had, when you building something, or even when you're planting a garden, you have to break up the ground where it is and make sure that ground is well equipped for what you want to build on it. So I began to break up, because there's a scripture say, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I had to break up everything, every past notion or thought process of thinking that I had to continue to please people, continue to try to fit in, continue to dance to other people's music. And as I began to break up that fallow ground, and then seek the manufacturer, instead of always look to the creator instead of looking to the creation, because the creation didn't make me. The creation wasn't the one that gave me my assignment. The creation wasn't the one that told me what I was ultimately supposed to do. It was the creator. So once I began to seek the creator, he began to plant people in my life that I desired, that could get me to my purpose place, my healed place, my whole place. But I had to put the work in.
Yeah.
It's just like going to the store buying seed. I can buy the seed and look at it, but until I work the ground and plant it, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. So as I began to do that, I had to be intentional in my seeking, my intentional in working. So a lot of things had to be pulled up, plucked up, and then others had to be planted. Like the word, I began to speak the word over myself and expect it. So I surrounded myself with people. I got a life coach. I know I never stopped journaling, but I had stopped that one season. So I started journaling again. I started doing I started reading books, watching YouTubes of people that were encourage me, build me. And that way, as I began to go through layers of newness and a restoration, because
Journaling.
journaling, yes.
Shameless plug again. Sorry.
Okay, that was the road to my healed place. And then, talk about never too late. That final divorce was in 2005. So I didn't meet my current husband until 2018. So all of those years of getting into the victory of who ArLene is. So when people bring up my past, I remember it, but it no longer stings me or hurts me to get me stuck. Now I know how to move on, and I see the victory in it. I see the wisdom that I gained, because I learned that a wise woman builds, a foolish one tears it down. Because when you're wise, you make decisions based on the glory of God being revealed in your life and the righteousness of him. And that way you will look at the situation, think about it first, look at the consequences that happen. After every decision you make, there is a consequence. So do I want to build in this situation, or do I want to react out of my emotion and make a foolish decision to tear down? Because this is how it make me feel. I got to have the last word, and I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. But when I choose to respond, I keep my peace, and I allow him to work it through me so that he gets the results and not my flesh. Because see, I'm building in this season. I'm not tearing down. So I'm being a wise woman that knows how to make a decision based on the situation that is going through. Sometimes I can speak, sometimes I can't, because there is such power in silence. such power in silence when you allow him to work it through you to get his results. And I found out that the words that I speak become the house that I live in. So what am I saying in this road to wisdom? What am I saying in this road to building? Is it gonna build? Is it gonna be the righteousness? Is it gonna be God's way, or is it gonna be my way, based on how ArLene feels, trying to judge everything according to what I went through? Because I can't judge every situation by what I went through. I had to judge each situation based on how it comes. And I look at, is this for me or against me? Because I realize everything is working together for my good. To get out of me was not supposed to be there, and to get into me was supposed to be there. So I can be an intricate, impactful power mouthpiece that God wants to use for this season to impact and empower people, period. To know that I'm not judging you based on your past. I'm judging you based on the sacrifice that my son made through you, so that my glory can be revealed. Because you see, you, ArLene, are the only one can do this, because that's what I called you to.
I'm not ArLene.
Like Jeff. I can't make every second count like Jeff. But what I
can
is be the wisdom of God, like your girl ArLene, that he's called me to. So it's not based on my past and my history. It's based on his story, based on what he says about me. And I can be the woman of wisdom. So this got me to my victory. So surrounding myself with the right people, getting a coach, a life coach, and then meeting people like yourself, stretching out on faith and taking that leap of faith to go to the first Black Belt Speakers event in Chicago in April of 2018. And at that time, I was 57 years old.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed you were that age.
Yeah, I'm 60 years old now, Jeff. I'm enjoying life.
No, I wouldn't have guessed you're, I don't know, 40 maybe?
Yeah. But see, that's why I said it's never too late. It's never too late to do what you are called to do. The thing is, once you make the decision, be ready for what you have to go through to get to. So versus living in silence, ashamed to share my story, ashamed of what I went through, now I live out loud and I share it and realize that my voice is necessary. My voice makes a difference. My voice is powerful because it comes from an authentic place of passion and desire to see God's people walk in their full potential and no longer hide in the shadows of the shame of it.
Wow. Just wow. I don't even know what I can say to that. But you were talking earlier about books and being how many time published author?
I was a first-time co-author in the book, Live Your Best Life, Walk by Faith, under Dr. Reuben West, along with 9 other co-authors. That was amazing. And currently, my husband and I are in Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Lethbridge, are co-authors in a book called You Are Unstoppable. It's Never Too Late. And we are sharing our love story in that book. Yes.
That is amazing.
Yep. And
now I'm sorry. I interrupted you as you were telling about more books. So I'll let you get back to that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So the other book is it's a devotional, and the other 2 books are 2 different devotionals. One, I shared about what to do and being the right person in a relationship. And then the last one, my husband and I did together to share about what love really means and what love really looks like, in another anthology of a Christian marriage book here in our area through Nisha and her husband, who have a marriage ministry, asked us to write a devotional in their book of devotions for marriages.
That is really cool. So how can people get a hold of the books if they're looking to be devoted? Or I don't know if that's right. Are people devoted when they read devotionals, or
Devotionals are to inspire people and to keep them on the right track of what it is that they're seeking. There's all kinds of devotionals out there, but I'm so thankful that in this season where marriages are under attack, we have all these knowledgeable tools to keep us together, to keep us focused. Communications are so open. There's so much information and coaching and doctors and counselors now that are for marriages, and the subjects are limitless on what to talk about. My husband and I are part of a group called Flame, which is for us a marriage ministry through a couple, Dr. Chevelter Smith and her husband out of Houston, Texas. And that's what they do. She's a certified OBGYN. He is a licensed counselor and lawyer, and they've been doing marriage ministry for over 20 years. So we've joined with them along with other couples that are doctors and are all published authors, and we've purchased their invitation. We have weekly meetings, and that's what we talk about. We talk about everything concerning marriage. My husband and I's marriage has not been in a bad place, but we take these tools and we add them, and it just enhances our relationship and give us more momentum to stay on the right track, in the right path, to be the light for so many others, because marriage was designed to be a light to the world and not the other way around. So many Christian marriages are impacted so much by the world, it's causing a separation and a dissension. But we purposely are very intentional from the beginning, from the day we met. We've been very intentional in our relationship, and these tools and people that we have placed in our lives just makes it even more better.
Yeah, you should have seen the first time her husband saw her. I was there. He was like, "Oh, girl." Like, his eyes lit up and he was like, "Ooh, who is that?"
Jeff, I wish he could hear you. He's in another room listening to a training video. I wish he could hear what you just said.
All right. Well, you can always show him the replay.
I will. I will. I will.
So, is there some way that people can get a hold of you if they're struggling with something that you talked about?
Yes, yes. You can inbox me through Messenger, and it's ArLene Collins Wilson. I have an Instagram page. A is the letter A, COLWIL, which is A Call Will on Instagram, or they can email me. And my email address is the word created, CREATED, the number 4, purpose, PURPOSE, the number 20 at gmail.com.
Wow, that's great advice. Great addresses, great everything. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy evening
You
to
are
be
so.
here with me and my viewers. But I need to say hello and thank you so much for watching to a few more people.
Okay.
So we have Adam, who is watching us from Great Britain.
Oh, wow.
We have Marilyn Bolton. I'm not sure where she's watching us from. We have Maria, who is watching us from Massachusetts. We have Sarah, who is watching us from Indiana. We have Nicole, who's watching us from Colorado, and we thank you guys so much for watching. Please share this video out, and don't forget to show other people that they can also that it's never too late to live the life they're destined to live. So, but Marilyn is from Indiana. I should remember that by now. So, but we thank you guys so much for watching, and I need each and every person out there to do me a favor, including you, ArLene.
Okay.
I need you to make sure you watch us next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where I'm here with a new guest.
Okay.
And I know tonight's not Tuesday, but I had to do it tonight because I have a speaking engagement tomorrow with
Congratulations.
a group in Dayton, Ohio. So, and I also need you to make every second count.
Have to.
Why, you might ask? Because you never know
If it may be.
when those seconds are going to run out on your one life. Hey guys, have a fantastic evening. Thank you for watching with us.